India's military might just got a thunderous upgrade. India has inked a deal to buy 26 marine variants of Rafale fighter jets from France. And this as tensions with Pakistan reach fever pitch after the Pahalgam terror attack. New Delhi is sending an unmistakable message. India is not just ready, it is redefining the rules of engagement. Our next report telling you more.
India signs a landmark deal with France to acquire 26 state-of-the-art Rafale marine fighter jets for its navy, a $7.4 billion deal. These cutting-edge aircraft will be deployed on INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant, transforming India's aircraft carriers into floating fortresses. The Rafale is only the tip of the spear. India's arsenal is bristling with the world's fastest and most lethal missiles. The BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, now upgraded to strike targets up to 800 kilometers away, gives India the power to neutralize enemy bases deep inside hostile territory without ever crossing the border. On Sunday, along with the BrahMos, the Indian Navy successfully conducted multiple anti-ship missile firings in the Arabian Sea. On 25th April, India announced a major breakthrough with the successful test of a long-duration scramjet engine, a critical step towards operational hypersonic missiles. This cutting-edge technology could soon place India in the elite club of nations capable of deploying hypersonic cruise missiles that fly at speeds exceeding Mach 5, making interception near impossible. India has been focusing on rapidly modernizing its arsenal. Let's now take a look at the strides made by the Indian military in recent times. Pralay missile, a short-range ballistic killer ready to wipe out enemy bases. With a payload capacity ranging from 500 to 1,000 kilograms, it boasts an operational range up to 500 kilometers. Astra Mk1 and Mk2 missiles, air-to-air missiles giving Indian jets lethal beyond visual range punch. Spice 2000 bombs used to flatten terror camps in Balakot. Developed by Israel, SPICE stands for Smart, Precise Impact, Cost-Effective. The bomb comes from a family of standoff air-to-ground weapon systems. SAAW, smart bombs that cripple enemy air bases without stepping inside hostile territory. Tejas Mark 1A, indigenous fighters now deployed to frontline bases armed to the teeth. Mirage 2000 upgrades, the old warriors now deadlier than ever, packed with new radars, weapons and electronic warfare systems. This lethal combination of new Rafale jets, hypersonic missile breakthroughs, BrahMos dominance and upgraded fighter fleets ensures that India's military is faster, smarter and deadlier than ever.
Kashmiris are rising against the forces that seek to divide them. They are standing firm against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. The Pakistani establishment makes big claims, but what they fail to see or choose to ignore is how Kashmiris have united to show to those spreading terror in the name of Kashmir just what Kashmiriyat truly means. Take a look at these visuals on your screen. On Monday, in Srinagar, traders, NGOs and students gathered to demonstrate the Pahalgam attack. The Indian tricolour in hand, demonstrators said, and I quote here, "This is our Kashmir and we will rise against terrorism." They sent a powerful message. Kashmir is against terrorism, and the spirit of hospitality and harmony that defines Kashmir will not be jeopardized. And Pahalgam itself was undeterred. On Monday, children took buses to go to schools. Shops reopened after almost a week of demonstrations against the deadly attack. In the immediate aftermath of the attack, tourism, which is the backbone of Kashmir's economy, suffered. Once bustling with upwards of 5,000 to 7,000 tourists daily, the area saw a dramatic reduction to merely 50 to 100 visitors following the terror strike. Just last year, it had hit a record of over 3 million visitors. But 5 days after the attack, a wave of resilience emerged, with tourists seen roaming the streets of Pahalgam, expressing admiration for its unmatched beauty and warmth of its people. And this morning, the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, which convened on Monday for a special session over the Pahalgam attack, observed a 2-minute silence to pay respect to the 26 people killed by the terrorists. The lawmakers condemned the attack and endorsed the central government's diplomatic measures against Pakistan. Deputy Chief Minister Surendra Chaudhary also moved a resolution which called the attack an assault on the ethos of Kashmiriyat. Perhaps the most powerful statement which came from the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah condemning the attack. Abdullah called for hope. He said that the whole of Kashmir is united against this attack and that this may mark the beginning of the end of terror in the valley. Abdullah also read out the names and states of each of the 26 victims of the terror attack to pay his tributes.
इस हमले के साथ नहीं है। इस हमले ने हमें अंदर से खोखला किया, लेकिन इस हमले ने, क्योंकि हर खराबी में कहीं ना कहीं हमें कोई रोशनी की किरण ढूंढने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए। बहुत मुश्किल है इन हालात में वो रोशनी ढूंढना, लेकिन स्पीकर साहब, पहली मर्तबा 26 साल में मैंने जम्मू कश्मीर में किसी हमले के बाद लोगों को इस तरह बाहर आते हुए नहीं देखा।
In a rare show of bonhomie, Abdullah's rival party, BJP, also praised Abdullah's response. Leader of the opposition in J&K Assembly, Sunil Sharma, praised the Chief Minister for calling an all-party meeting and the Assembly Speaker, Abdul Rahim, for calling a special session. Leaders, including members of the opposition, have now shown support for the government's response to the tragedy. Importantly, they emphasize that this attack should not be used to divide us along communal lines, as it goes against the very essence of what we represent as a nation.
डीप स्टेट है या एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है पाकिस्तान का, वो तो यही चाहते हैं कि इस देश में हमेशा के लिए हिंदू मुसलमानों के झगड़े चलते रहें। तो इसीलिए उन्होंने हरकत की और उनका वहाँ कश्मीर में जाकर नॉन मुस्लिम को, हमारे हिंदू भाई बहनों को मारने का मकसद एक ही था कि कश्मीर को बताना चाह रहे थे कि यहाँ कोई नॉन मुस्लिम नहीं आ सकता। तो उनका मकसद वही है। तो हम पूरे देशवासियों से अपील कर रहे हैं कि आप ऐसे वक्त पे अपनी पॉलिटिकल डिफरेंसेस होंगे, मगर आप उन लोगों को कामयाब होने मत दीजिए जो इस देश को कमजोर करना चाहते हैं, इसकी यूनिटी को कमजोर करने को।
The terrorist attack in Pahalgam has triggered massive outrage and grief among Indians, along with calls for action against terror sponsor Pakistan. In Ahmedabad, effigies were burnt. In New Delhi, a march was taken out towards the Pakistani High Commission, with many of the participants shouting anti-Pakistan chants and holding placards.
De la France se sont rappelés.
Not just in India, demonstrations against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism broke out across the world. In Paris, members of the Indian diaspora staged a demonstration in front of the Eiffel Tower. In London, they countered the Pakistani demonstrations outside the Indian High Commission in London. In Canada's Toronto, a group of organizations came together to hold a massive candlelight vigil. According to news agency ANI, more than 500 Canadian Hindus, Jews, Baloch and Iranians gathered on the streets of Toronto to rally against the terror attack and urge the government to declare Pakistan a terrorist country. All of them have one thing in common, the assertion that this is an attack not just on Kashmir, but on the soul of India. In the end, what is Kashmiriyat? It is secularism, communal harmony, and the idea that we stand together irrespective of our differences. It signifies that here in India, we do not divide people by religion, but don't expect the sponsors of terror to understand it. Well, Pakistan continues to test India's patience with repeated ceasefire violations along the line of control, further raising tensions in the region. According to the Indian Army, overnight between Sunday and Monday, Pakistani forces opened unprovoked small arms fire targeting Indian positions in Kupwara and Poonch districts of Jammu and Kashmir. The Indian Army said it retaliated swiftly and firmly without incurring any casualties on its side. This latest incident marked the fourth such consecutive breach by Pakistan along the LOC, which started last Thursday, just hours after India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty in response to the Pahalgam terror attack. The violations along the LOC come just weeks after a brigade commander level flag meeting on April 10th in Poonch, where both the sides had reportedly agreed to uphold the 2021 ceasefire pact. According to reports, during that meeting, India had raised multiple issues, including Pakistan's recent infiltration, IED blasts, and repeated violations along the LOC. But Islamabad seems determined to ignore its own commitments. On Saturday night, Pakistani troops again resorted to small arms fire across the LOC, targeting Tutmari Gali and Rampur sectors. Indian soldiers responded with matching force. Friday night witnessed similar provocations in areas such as Uri, Tangadhar, Kupwara and Gurez. While on Thursday, the first ceasefire violation was reported at the Tutmar Gali. Now, despite 2 rounds of brigade commander flag meetings this year, Pakistan's actions clearly indicate that it has no intention of following the ceasefire agreement or the ceasefire understanding. And India's message is clear. Any act of aggression along the LOC will be met with immediate and decisive retaliation. All right, a new generation of warriors is rising in Kenya in an ancient initiation ceremony in Kenya's Maasai community. Boys become warriors in a sacred rite of passage. Our next report telling you more.
Teenage boys clad in traditional Maasai shukas or blankets brave the morning cold in the highlands overlooking Kenya's Maasai land. They are much tougher than what meets the eye, as they sleep on the forest floor, go hungry for days, and can do without a shower in a whole month, traits which make them ironclad in reality. These are all part of the learning curve of becoming a real-life Maasai warrior. And these kids are challenging all odds to become one. The reason why they are special is because all 900 of them were handpicked for the Maasai warrior training camp, which only happens every 10 to 15 years. The camp essentially teaches Maasai cultural values and leadership skills to the students and prepare them not just for war, but also for life.
We are going to choose our leaders that will be that will lead us through our age groups, and also we are happy to be here to celebrate these cultural practices.
There are a lot of things that could go wrong if you do not mind about culture, as there will be no respect. If you have no respect, you will go and fight with someone who is older than you, and an elder person should not come and fight with a younger one.
Modern times need modern solutions, and the warriors are all for it, all said and done. Maasai warriors have new bullets to dodge, such as climate change and the shrinking of the grazing land, which affects Kenya's 1.2 million Maasai people. WION World is One.